Hola, you guys. Hey, Boo. Hey, JJ Mommy. What's up, you guys? Hey, Monique. What's up? Yes, we live. Hey, Tori. Bama Fish Fry. Hey, VZ. Yes, got my red wine. Hopefully, my guest does not mind. I'm going to ask her when we start. Hey, Dej. Hey, D. What's up? Thank you guys for coming back. I was not here last week. How was y'all holiday weekend? Thank you, girl. This is like a little light beat because I've been having a rough week, you guys. Very rough week. The cup is full, girl. Yes. Hey, Marcy. I know. Hey, Vanessa. What's up? Whew, y'all. How was y'all holiday weekend? I had a really rough weekend, a really rough week, but I'm back live. Hi, Digga, I see you. It was nice. You went to cookouts and stuff. I did not go to not one cookout. It will definitely get better days. Yes, it will. It will. So tonight, I have my guest coming on tonight because, well, hopefully she joins us, y'all. I didn't see her come in yet. Shut up, Niche. I'm gonna ask her if it's okay. I'm gonna ask her if it's okay. Speaking of, there she goes. I'm gonna ask her. I am very what's it called? Hi.
Girl, hell yeah, it's okay. Shit. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited.
I'm sorry I'm late. I just got off work.
It's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You should have told me. I would have moved it back for you. So before we get started though, your name is pronounced Tarina, right?
It's Tarina, but I go by Rena. Hold on, let me fix this
Rena?
note. Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, do you. Oh, hey, pretty girl, Sammy. Thank you, Leash. I got this headband on because y'all, my hair is not doing what it's supposed to do today.
Girl, mine don't neither.
You look cute though, and you got my favorite color on, pink.
Pink.
I love it. Oh, by the way, is it okay if I drink my wine?
Yeah, that's what I said when I come on. When I
Oh,
came
okay.
on. Can you hear me?
See? They were commented. I didn't hear you. They were commented about it. I'm like, I'm gonna ask, you know.
Girl, I've been sober 7 years. And alcohol wasn't never my thing anyway, so
No?
no.
We're gonna get Busy Bee said we finna change it to Rena Love. He's gonna make it a Rita Love. I like that. All right, y'all. So the reason I invited Rena on was because yes, she's recovered for 7 years and she's very open and honest. I love people who can be open and honest about their experiences, transparent. And y'all know that one of my goals with this show is to just show everyone that we all are very similar. Things happen, life happens, and we all go through things. So why don't you tell everyone your name, where you're from, and
My
what you do now?
My name is Rena. I'm from Akron, Ohio. Right now, I'm a STNA and I help addicts, recovering addicts, to let them know is life after the death that you put yourself through.
Amen. I love that. And life is hard. Marcy said, yes, life is very hard, and we all going through it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Life hard by itself without adding a fucking drug to it.
Exactly. All right, so let's get started. So, but I want to go back to before you even started on anything. You said alcohol was never your thing. So, how old were you when you started anything, any type of drugs?
Okay, I was about 16 years old and I got into a car accident and the doctor prescribed me opiates and I liked it on me. I
Wow.
liked it. And so from about 16 to about 23, 24, it just was a, fly by night thing. I wasn't really on it like that. I was taking them. I was taking Tylenol PMs. I was taking Percocets. I was taking Vicodin, like anything I could get my hands on for real. But it wasn't really a problem, I could say, until I experienced my father dying. And that was in like 2008. I was like 28 years old and it had got real heavy then. It
Wow.
had got
So,
real heavy then.
I didn't even know that it started with a prescription.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
okay.
That's
So that,
9 times out of 10, that's how a lot of people shit start. With a
yeah,
prescription from a doctor.
yeah,
Because
it
I
does.
say the doctors is like the biggest drug dealers.
I agree with
Some
you.
of them, some of them, I'm not saying nobody. The girl on my TikTok, they be going crazy on me like, don't blame the doctor, you took it and da 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 da. I'm like, my whole fucking page is about me taking responsibility and accountability for the shit I did.
Yeah.
But he
But you,
did play a part.
yeah, and you know, when a doctor is prescribing you something, you don't even think it's bad. Like, you know what I mean? You don't think it's, we're not taught that it can be an addiction, that it can lead to other things. We're not taught that. So we think it's okay. A doctor gave it to me, you know?
Yep.
So I totally agree with you there.
Yeah. So that's how kind of like I get a lot of backlash for it, but it's my truth. So ain't no right way or wrong way to answer it. Like he wrote me a prescription through my whole 9 months of pregnancy.
I saw a video of you explaining that now. So at 16 was when you started getting prescribed these prescriptions. How old were you when you got pregnant?
I had my first kid at 23, and then I had my last kid at 30. So it was a big gap. So that's what, let me just start over. So, like, I really had a normal childhood. My mom and dad was married. It wasn't really no traumas that I know of until I went to therapy. Wasn't no molestations or no shit like that. But I believe I suffered from like low self esteem and like low self worth and that type of shit. And it stemmed from like my mother never showed me womanly stuff, like how to take care of myself as a woman or how to look pretty or tell me I'm pretty or that validation or that compliment or that comforting thing that the little girl needs.
Was your mother uh one of those girls who also suffered from low self-esteem, you would think, or no?
I didn't think so.
No. Oh,
No,
okay.
I didn't think so until I got older and I found out that she had traumas from her mother and all of that. So it all worked. I all understand where the shit really stemmed from. But my mom only knew what she knew.
Mm.
She only knew what
Yeah.
her mother
So
taught
she
her.
can only
So
teach you what she knows. Yeah.
what she knew.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that still don't negate the fact that that's where my low self esteem stemmed from.
Mm-hmm.
So I start taking Tylenol PMs and the opiates that the doctors was prescribing when I got into the car accident to get out of my own body, like to be comfortable in the skin that I was in because I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
From like 16 to like 23, 3, probably like when I had my first kid. I kicked it. I popped ecstasy pills. I drank. I smoked weed. I did all of that. It wasn't really, I
It was
wasn't
just
really,
for fun. It was just
yeah,
partying.
it was recreational then. It was
Exactly.
recreational. The shit didn't really hit the fan until my dad died, until
Which
my
was when you were
father died,
24.
I was 28. I was
Oh,
28.
wow.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
sorry for your
28.
loss too. That's
But I had so like from 16 to like 23, it was all recreational. I had my daughter. So I say like 24, 25, I got introduced to this well-known doctor in my city where he was giving me Percocets, he was giving me Oxycontin, he was giving me Xanax, all in one script, all in the same visit.
And what
All
people
in
don't understand is that a lot of people say, well, why would the doctor do that? A lot of people don't understand that they get paid from these pharmaceutical companies for giving, the more drugs that they give out.
right.
And
But
this
let
is
me tell you,
actually a
yeah,
big problem.
yeah, it's a big problem right fucking now, right
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But the doctor was, I had a health card. So the doctor was charging me $120 to be seen. He was charging my health card as well.
Wow.
So he was giving me the prescriptions. I had to pay $120 just to walk into his office. And he also was charging the insurance company. So he was getting paid from both ends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the
And that's why we have what's called the opioid crisis in America right now. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's what happened. And then like this doctor had got hot. Like I couldn't get his, I was going to him for like 4 or 5 years. For like 4 or 5 years. From like I say 26 till I had my daughter. Cause I got 26 to like 30 because I had my daughter when I was 30 years old. But at the end of him passing out these scripts, the feds had caught on to him and wouldn't nobody feel him. Wouldn't nobody feel him. So I am addicted to Percocets by now. Like addicted to Percocets. It's like an everyday thing. Like I'm selling them, I'm taking them, I'm running out of them, I'm hitting the streets buying them now. Like it's I'm addicted now. Well,
Yeah.
addicted. So after that, that had kind of how my journey opened up to heroin.
Well, okay, so I wanted to ask you too because Percocet is actually a really popular drug right now. A lot of the youth is using it, and people always say Percocet is nothing but heroin in a pill. Is
Yeah,
that
it,
true? Yeah.
it's a synthetic form. It's a synthetic form of heroin. It's just government regulated.
Wow.
It's a synthetic form of heroin. It's just government
That's why it's
regulated.
so addictive.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I know people who have gotten it as a prescription too, and because it's a prescription, they really never thought they were addicted because the doctor keeps filling it, they keep taking it. You see their mood changing, you see different things about them, and they don't even realize that they're addicted because this is prescribed by a doctor.
you could take the pills as prescribed for 7 to 10 days and be addicted. Your body will go through withdrawals from not having them for 7 to 10 days. If you notice, your body will go through withdrawals from not having them just from like 7 to 10 days of taking them how they're prescribed.
Yeah. So before you were addicted to anything, how did you feel about like people who were addicted? Were you ever like, oh, that'll never be me? Or like, did you even think about it?
Hell yeah, all the time. Like, we be judgmental until we walk in them shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad smoked crack. So,
Oh.
and then I grew up in that era. I'm from around it. I sold crack. I was in the streets. Like, I'm a real person. So
Yeah.
I was out there in the streets. So I know how the shit was. For me to get addicted was like, damn, it was like a real humbling experience. So before I start taking the pills and stuff, I was in the streets. Like, I knew how it was. I sold dope before. I sold pills before. I was selling the pills from the scripts that the doctor gave me. Never in a million years did I think I was going to resort to heroin. Never in a million years.
So you said your father used crack. Did you ever see him doing it, or
I never
no?
seen my father get high, but I knew he was getting high. Yeah, I knew he was getting high. I knew he was getting high, which in turn, like, he had started my mom off getting drugs when we was younger. So I was like 13, 14. I was like 13, 14. So that was really probably the low self-esteem and all the shit that I was going through, because I knew my father and my mother was getting high. Like, it was times that I was in high school and I used to catch the bus, but sometimes I used to walk with my friends. My dad had a brand new 9.8. They used to call him a 9.8 back in the day. Nice ass car. um, he was renting it out as a G ride. I'm walking home from school. I'm running up to the car. I'm thinking it's my dad. It's somebody that he rented the car out to.
Wow.
For dope.
Mm.
So
So, and then you said your father passed away when you were about 28. Was it due to the drug?
he had cancer. My dad died of cancer.
Mm. Yois Niche said, "How do you feel about the influence hip hop has on drugs, like the lyrics and everything?"
How do I feel about it? It's terrible the way they act like it's cute to me. Like, cause it ain't cute. Um, it's terrible to me. Like, cause they ain't rapping about nothing of substance. It's, let's fuck this hoe, get this bitch, sell this dope, pop this, take this lean. Like, it ain't nothing of substance. So I don't agree with it at all. Like, it ain't cute. It's not cute to be a heroin addict. It ain't, because it's all, it's a progressive disease. Like, you can start from perks and end up on heroin. You can start from Tylenol PMs and end up dead. Like, it's a progressive disease.
Well, so let's talk about that. So you were addicted to the Percocets. Now you can no longer get that filled, right?
Yes.
So
So my
what was your next
body,
step?
heroin, because withdrawals from a Percocet is terrible. A withdrawal from opiates, period, to me is the worst withdrawals that you could go through in life. In life. So you got to understand, I was taking like 5 or 6 10 milligrams a day, like 60, 70 milligrams a day. And they was only prescribing me uh probably 20 milligrams a day.
Oh wow.
So I was abusing them, like taking handfuls of perk tens at a time, like every couple hours.
Yeah.
So for me,
So that's what Lauren Leash is saying. That's what I want to know. So was it that you got so sick? How did you even figure out, like, let me try heroin? I'm sick. I need drugs. Like, how did you even figure out, let me go to heroin?
okay. So let me just tell you how it progressed. That's basically how it happened. The doctor, I was going to the doctor for 5 or 6 years. I was taking perks through the whole pregnancy, and the feds shut the doctor down. I couldn't get the prescription filled. So I'm going through withdrawals. The physical withdrawals last anywhere from 7 to 14 days. The physical withdrawals is like maybe 4 or 5 days, but the withdrawals in itself could be like 7 days to 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody know, like, the withdrawal was so bad, I tried heroin. I had a friend. She was popping pills with me. She was a little older than me. She knew I had access to heroin. She knew I could get some dope. And like I said, perks and heroin, same thing. Percocet, just a synthetic form. So she was like, snort this. It was dumb, I know. But at the time, I was addicted and I was going through withdrawals. That's how bad the withdrawals was. I knew damn well heroin had people strung out. I knew damn well heroin was killing people. I knew damn well all of that shit. But in addiction, addiction work in your the middle part of your brain. Your front part of your brain is the cortex. That's where all your sense of right and wrong is at. Your caring, your instinct, oh, I love them, or no, that ain't right, or yes, that ain't right, or pay this bill, or do this. Your front cortex, that's where all of that come from. In the midst of addiction, it's completely shut off. Your midbrain is active and you just in survival mode. Ain't no fucking right or wrong, ain't no morals, ain't nothing. So you really can't make those type of decisions. So when people say, why don't you just quit, or it's a mind over matter thing, it's not. It's not. Addiction acts in your brain, in your midbrain. Mm-hmm. Like I said, your sense of right and wrong is completely cut off. So that's why I tried the heroin, because I was acting out of addiction. Mm-hmm. My sense of right or wrong was cut off. My frontal cortex was cut the fuck off. It wasn't no paying no bills. It wasn't no ride. I was fiending at this point. I was in fight or flight, survival mode. So the lady was like, try it. So I tried it, snorted it. The first time I ever snorted anything. I didn't get high, but I didn't have withdrawals. So I tried it the third time, because fuck, it took them withdrawals. The withdrawal. You hot, you cold, you shitting, you throwing up probably at the same time. Like you got chills, you angry, you agitated, you got anxiety. All of this is going on. All of this is withdrawals, active, full-blown withdrawals. This is what I'm going through. So hell yeah, I tried it. The second time I tried it, I didn't get high. Well, I didn't think I was high, but I didn't have those withdrawals. The third time I tried it, baby, let me tell you something. I was higher than Cootie fucking Brown. I was higher than a kite. And to be honest, it's really a euphoric feeling. To me, it's a great feeling. I cannot lie to you.
You said Percocet is, you said, a synthetic form of heroin. Now, yes. I have been prescribed Percocets by my dentist.
How did it make you feel?
It made me feel like that, hot, like euphoric, happy. Not for long, but it did make me feel like that.
Yeah. So just imagine how I felt with the heroin, because it's stronger. It was pure. It wasn't from the government. It was off the street. Yeah. So it felt great.
Yois Niche says, how did you fund your addiction during that time? Before you answer that, how expensive is heroin? Because I don't know anyone who has ever been open with their heroin addiction to me. So I don't know if I know any heroin addicts, but I do know people who sell it. And where I'm from, those are the people who make the most money.
Yeah. When I was getting high, it was like almost $120 for a gram. Wow. $120 for a gram. That's what I was paying.
And how much would a gram last you? How long?
Woo. As it progressed, not long at all. Like when I was snorting it probably would last me at first a couple days. But then eventually my disease progressed and I started shooting up with the needle. So after I started shooting up with a needle, a gram wasn't lasting me but a couple hours.
So how did you fund that? And well, initially, so in the beginning, did you have a job at that point?
Yes, I always worked. worked. So you 2-3 jobs. Yes.
Oh, so you were like what they call a functioning addict.
Yeah, I always worked. And that right there, I don't know, because it's a disease of progression. Like eventually it's gonna be bad to the point where you ain't gonna be able to function. And when they say functioning, like high function, like I had to take drugs to function. So when you say high functioning or a functioning alcoholic or I mean, I know what you're saying literally, but I had to get high to function in everyday life. Like I needed it to go in front of people. So
well, this is why I like having these conversations, because what we know, we only hear it from like counselors or, you know, people who've studied this or whatnot, but we never get to hear it from the people who've actually been through it, especially Black people, because heroin is not, I
girl,
remember.
let me tell you, when I went to jail, I had gotten some trouble. I'm gonna tell y'all about that too. When I went to jail, and I got locked up for about 60 days in the county where I'm from. And them people was like, you do heroin? They said you got caught with this. You do heroin? Black people don't do heroin, girl. What the fuck wrong with you? We do crack. Like it was a good thing. Right, like it was a good thing to talk about. But like, we don't do heroin. We don't do heroin, but you would be surprised how many people is doing heroin and popping perks and drinking lean. Lean is a form of an opiate. Like some of the drug dealers was getting tired of when I was coming up 7 years ago. Some of the drug dealers was getting tired of hiring me to test they shit, and they started snorting it themselves.
Wait a minute. So you were one of the people who tested it?
Oh,
Because I
I did it
saw
all.
that. I think I saw that on Intervention, where
I
they
did
have
it
like
all.
the person from the neighborhood who's been doing it for the longest test the product to see if it's good. Wow.
Yeah, so you know the dope dealer that you deal with the most, the one that he trusts the most. He be like, "Hey," they say, "Auntie, hey Auntie, why don't you come check this out for me? I'm about to bring you this bag over here. Let me know what's going on." And da 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 da. After a while, they get tired of like, "Fuck that." Let me see what it's hitting for myself. It's a lot of dope dealers
Oh.
testing their own products.
Oh
Believe me.
wow. So
Yeah.
I actually well, you know what, before we get to that, let's answer Nisha's question. She said, how did you fund that? Now I know you mentioned that you would steal,
I did it
and
all. I did it all.
so it got to a
However,
point
I
it
couldn't
got to a
function.
point where your job didn't
I
cover that
I
expense.
wasn't. It was over for a job. I wasn't working. I was rock bottom. I wasn't going to work. I didn't feed myself. Like I was a fucking addict, a junkie, like a full blown, like black people would say, a crackhead. That's what I was. And you'll be surprised because addicts is some of the hustling ass people in the world. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? To wake up in the morning with no money and to
there's
end
a
up at night
meme.
high as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a meme that says, did you ever hear a crackhead say they can't find
Get
money for
no
crack?
dope.
No, so get
Right.
up.
Right. I'm telling you, like addicts is some of the most creative, hustling ass individuals. Because when you wake up, like you need it. Heroin, you need it. Pills, you need it. When you wake up, you need it. Matter of fact, you can't go to sleep without it. So if you don't got it, what you gonna do? I'm gonna walk in somebody's store and take what I think belongs to me, because that's the frame of mind that I'm in. I'm going to steal, I'm turning a trick, I'm doing whatever the fuck I need to do to get high to make me feel better. I did it.
Niche says also, where were your kids at this time?
My kids was with me. I had my sisters and some family members was always I always had somebody staying with me. So my kids was around at that time. But I had a good support system. My fiance's mother and his grandmother, like it they would come get my kids for weeks on at a time. But initially my kids never got taken, never nothing. They was with me. My oldest child actually grew up with me getting high.
Your oldest child is a boy or a girl?
I have two girls,
Two girls.
two girls, 19 and 12. She
Um,
says, sis, don't be getting drunk with the recovering addict on the
who's
phone.
who said that?
Somebody
Who
named
said that?
Yo, that don't bother me.
All right,
What
so
she eat don't make me shit. It does
I
not
need I
bother
need
me.
y'all to understand. I'm still dealing with my issue. This is my
Right.
issue.
I,
Okay.
well, I'm gonna tell you personally. It don't bother. That don't bother me.
I mean, I'm happy it doesn't. Did it take a while though? Like, was there a few years where you would not be around it at all?
Yeah, you stay away from people, places, and things because them drugs release dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical. The like I say, addiction is just a broken pleasure sense. It's a broken your pleasure sense is broken. Dopamine is the chemical that go to your brain that make you happy. When you have sex, dopamine is released. When you go to the gym, dopamine is released. When you take drugs, you break the threshold of dopamine. Like it's an overload of dopamine. So I could see a pill bottle and release a little bit of dopamine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
just
it's
seeing
been,
it.
yeah, like people, places. That's why they say people, places, and things.
Uh, we're gonna get to that. She has a book out, you guys. Heroin Ain't No Honeymoon. I love that title. Um, Niche says that's a blessing. Like I said before, I am a child of a functioning addict. Uh, we got a question from Uniquely She. How did your children deal with your addiction?
I have some of the best kids in the world. During the addiction, they did it. They was, I mean, they didn't miss a beat. They had their grandmothers. They had their grandmothers. When their father was away, he was locked up. They had their grandmothers. So coming up, like my daughter tell me stories now. When I went to jail, a teacher had asked her something and she just bust out crying. Like I'm quite sure it has some type of effect on them. Like when I got out of the rehab place, I had signed my kids up for counseling. So they went through therapy and everything. I got a therapist right now today.
I was gonna ask that. Did your kids also go to therapy?
Hell yeah. Like black people need to normalize therapy instead of telling your business to your small-minded best friend and she gonna go tell all your business because she don't really believe in your dream anyway. Why not go talk to a therapist? They get paid to listen to you and not tell your business.
We got the same question from Dow House Bling and official Kia McMichael. They asked the same question. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Before we get to that question, I want to know when you first started heroin, did you keep it a secret from your family?
Oh, them my people on there. Hey y'all. Them my folks. Hey. Did I keep it a secret? You can only keep a secret for so long. Like it you the only one think you don't nobody know. Cause you in your own fucking head. Like people know. It starts to show. Like you don't look like you used to look. You don't act like you used to act. You the only one think don't nobody know. So no, it wasn't a secret. Like I went from this big to this small. I thought I was a shit brick house. Wasn't. I wasn't at all. So no, it wasn't a secret. I didn't keep it a secret. I was ashamed. I got high at my own house. I was ashamed. Only time somebody was seeing me is if I was going to cop some dope. For that long period of time, I didn't go around people. Like I was ashamed. I felt hopeless. I was embarrassed. I was fucked up.
And when your family did realize, did they treat you any differently, your family and friends?
People always treat you different if you're not like them. People treat you different anyway. So that was something that I probably was getting high for in the first place. Remember, I told you I wasn't comfortable in my skin anyway. But yes, people treat drug addicts fucked up. Honestly,
Yeah.
they do.
And
Like they're
and
not human.
we've both used this word during this chat, but how does it feel like, because when we do see people on drugs, we never say like, oh, that's a heroin addict, you're automatically a crackhead. That's what we call them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
does, like, how did that make you feel? Like, Is that a term? I try not to use that word anymore, but is that a term that we should not like use?
I'm okay with any term anybody say because I know who I am. So whatever you say, it don't. I'm a child of the Most High, so whatever you say don't affect me. But I mean, it depends on where somebody at in their headspace. I don't care if somebody called me a crackhead or a geeker or a junkie. When I was in it, I did. It was hurtful. Why would you say that to me? Because I didn't think nobody knew what I was going through. Because I was in my own head. Like, why would you say that fucked up shit to somebody? You crackhead, you junkie, you this, you that. But that's what I was. So right now, today, I don't care what nobody say out of their mouth because I know who I am right now.
And at what point? So I know I saw a video with you talking about the first time that you overdosed. How many times have you overdosed?
Twice. Twice.
Twice.
Before I got
And
clean, it was twice. Is my phone going in and out?
yeah, I think you got to turn your Wi-Fi off, maybe.
No, I got this ear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, better. I can hear you better now.
Okay.
Okay. So you said you overdosed twice. And I know you said the first time you overdosed, you woke up the next day and went about your day and went and got high again. So at what point was it for you that you were like, all right, enough is enough. Like, I gotta kick this habit?
I hit rock bottom. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like a drug addict, before they get sober, they want to stop way before they do. They just can't. They don't have they don't know how. They don't know where to begin. They're shamed. They're hopeless. I tried to quit getting high umpteen times before it stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that's what I had no business doing that. Like, it didn't give me the same feeling that it gave me when I first started getting high. It was a vicious cycle. I would run all day, turn tricks, go steal some shit just to get high. The high lasts for an hour. Then I'm broke again. I still got the same problems I had from the beginning. It's a vicious cycle. So, to believe it or not, addicts want to stop a long time before they actually do. They just can't. They can't. And then people don't understand it really acts and it performs in your brain. Like, it ain't no just stop. It's not no just stop for a real true addict. It's not just stop. It's not mind over matter. It's not you should be stronger than that for an addict. That's not what it is. They cannot stop just like
Yeah.
that.
And you know, the funny thing is, right? We see there are so many addictions. You could literally be addicted to anything, right? And
Anything, food,
there's people,
money.
yeah, with food. I was addicted to food. I was really big. I had weight loss surgery. And you know, there's people addicted to sex. And with all of those people, it's almost like people are like, oh, you know, you can break it, like just work on it little by little. But then when it comes to a drug addict, we're like, it's mind over matter. You could do it just one day to the
Right.
next, you know? Yeah.
Right. Or just like a disease of, say, diabetic. You ain't gonna say nothing to your uncle that you know he a brittle diabetic and he getting that big ass piece of chocolate cake every day. You ain't saying the same shit you saying to
Mm-hmm.
him as you would say to me. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's a disease.
Yeah.
To
Can
me, it
somebody
didn't.
comment in the chat? I just want to make sure you guys could hear us because I don't know if the audio went out. Um, but so okay, so you
How do I
mentioned
take these comments off my page? Because I can't see my. How do I like remove the comments? I'm not
I
hip
think you
with this.
I think you just swipe it. I'm not sure. You still there? Let me see. I think we lost her, you guys. I'm gonna add her back in, but thank you guys for joining. So, you know, I can you guys hear me? because I'm gonna wait for her. I'm gonna wait for her. Yeah, I'm gonna add her back on. I'm gonna add her back on. But I'm so happy you guys joined me for this episode because, you know, I don't just like to talk about fashion and stuff like and hip hop and music. I don't just like to talk about that. I like to talk about, you know, things that really affect us every day, you know, and learning people's story. You know, I don't like that people are treated differently. I don't like that people are treated differently because they suffer from different demons than you. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. You know, I ain't hip with the live stuff. I'll be on
It's
TikTok.
okay. I want to go live with you on TikTok too, girl. So you guys, she has a really big audience on TikTok. Follow her. Her TikTok
do you got 1,000 followers yet?
No, girl, not on TikTok.
Girl, you don't have to get your life together. I help you.
You gotta help me with that.
My book bag.
All right, so let's see. All right, so
hi, there go my therapist. My people is in the building.
Marcy, you're not supposed to ask that, but Marcy,
you can ask whatever you want to ask.
How old is Rena?
A beautiful 42 young years old. 42.
Okay. All right, so you mentioned turning tricks. Now, you also made a video saying that the worst thing you did was sell your daughter's tickets to August Alsina, right? Yes, it was a concert. So I actually got a DM from someone. I got a DM from someone, and he said, so she feels like selling tickets was worse than selling her body. Oh, girl. Yeah, we lost her again, I think. I think we lost her again. I think she's going to have to turn off her Wi-Fi. That's why it's probably going in and out. Can you guys hear me still? I know. I think she has to turn her Wi-Fi off. But so yeah, I got a message for you guys before she comes back on. She made a video saying that the worst thing she did while she was addicted to heroin was sell concert tickets that she had for her daughter to go see August Alsina.
What happened?
Hey, girl. I think you might have to turn your Wi-Fi off. Is your Wi-Fi on?
I fixed it. I got my baby down here. I fixed it.
Now, is that the one who you sold the tickets? It is. Okay, so, hey, you can come. Do you want to come on camera, though?
She said no. Just wave.
No.
Say hi.
Oh, okay.
Show your face.
I did. That's what
Oh.
I did.
She ain't on it.
We did hear her, so can I ask her a question and she just tell us the answer?
Do you mind? You don't have to. Good. She said, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to know, like, because a lot of guys that I've dated were raised by mothers who had addictions. And I've noticed that it did affect my relationships with them. So do you still have problems because, like, with other people and trusting other people because of that?
No. I got an open heart. Everybody get a chance until they show otherwise. So, no, not really.
I love that. All right, so Rena, I had someone DM me after I posted your videos, and they said, why does she think selling the August Alsina tickets was worse than her selling herself?
Because that was worse for me.
And it hurt your child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
totally agree.
Yeah.
That was what I responded to him.
Because y'all, that, I don't know, people make it seem like people have sex all day long for free, for nothing. You got a nigga that's dogging the fuck out of you for nothing, and you giving him coochie every day for nothing. Mm-hmm. So I hurt my baby. Like, it hurt me that my baby was hurt, and I knew I was dead ass wrong.
Yeah. And I also want to remind people that prostitution is legal in Nevada, and it's also legal in most countries across this world. Like, America is the only place that makes it seem like it's a bad thing. And the reason, I want people to know, the reason is probably because the government feels like they can't make money because they can't track it. There's no way to track that.
That's
You know,
exactly what it
but
is.
we see once they're able to track weed, now it's legal.
But honestly, come on, your friend, you, me, we all done had sex for free before to somebody we liked that we thought liked it us.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that it ain't like, oh, my coochie is such a high commodity. Like, people get on my nerves. Come off your high horse. Everybody done did some shit before.
For free. Yep. So
Yeah.
if it's such a high commodity, you give it away for free. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Listen, I agree with you so much. And you know, I want people to understand, like, in America, you know, we were taught so much that these people are bad and these people are good. And you go to all of our studies on addiction and stuff like that come from overseas because they're so much better at, you know, helping their people than America.
Man, I heard a TED talk the other day about addiction, I think in Brazil, and he said instead of locking the addicts up over there, they take that money and provide jobs for them and provide services for them. And they like the turnover rate was like so little to nothing. It was like over here they put that shit over here for us to fail anyway.
Yes. Yes.
They put it over here for us to break up the families. That's why they wanted the man to go to jail so the mama could be on welfare. They just didn't expect they people to get high on it and stay on it like that.
Yep. Yes, because majority of people in America who are addicted to drugs are actually white. But
hold on, Tarina, I have a show. I gotta jump off. You're doing so well. Keep up the good work, and I love you. I love you too. Thank you.
Speaking of which, so like we said earlier, a lot of people don't associate heroin with Black people. So when you were getting high, were you with a lot of Black people or were you with white people? Like,
girl, I stayed with the white folks. They gonna get you high as hell all day long. No, I wasn't fucking with no niggas for real. I mean, you know what I mean. For real, like I was in that mode. Like I was getting high, I was kicking it, I was partying, and I was ashamed of what I was doing anyway. So I didn't want my people to know. No, I kicked it with white folks.
Stone Love said they brought crack into Black neighborhoods. They brought crack into America, period, you guys.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. It was the government who brought this drug into America. All right, so you've been open about the fact that you've tried other drugs. So did you try other drugs because at the time you just couldn't afford heroin, so you were like, all right, let me get some crack?
The only reason why I ever tried anything else is because somebody else bought it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. My DOC was opiates, heroin, pills, perks, straight opiates. It wasn't no liquor. DOC is drug of choice. But I liked it heroin, pills. I didn't do weed or meth or crack, or I wasn't spending my money on it or turning no trick for it. Or
you just tried it when other people brought it. So meth is another drug that I feel like we don't correlate to Black people. No?
Girl, let me tell you something. Right now, today, a lot of Black people is doing meth. Because it's a form of speed. A lot of people that get high is really suffering from depression. People is self-medicating because they don't deal with their mental issues. They're not going to deal with their mental issues. So that's why people are self-medicating. And meth is an upper for a lot of people.
Hi, Titi Luisa. My Titi Luisa, she's watching from Puerto Rico. All right, so I totally agree with you, like, especially in the Black community, because we're taught not to go to therapy. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? So we are self-medicating. We're doing what makes us feel good instead of seeking the proper help.
Yes.
All right. So, now you said that your doctor was prescribing you Percocets through your pregnancy, right?
Whole 9 months.
And he knew you was pregnant.
Whole 9 months.
What would he tell you?
He cut them down. I told you he was giving me 3 prescriptions. He was giving me 120 perk 10s initially. He was giving me 90 Xanax, and he was giving me 66 milligrams of Oxycontin every month. I was going to get 3 scripts. When I became pregnant, all he gave me was a prescription of 5 milligram Percocets, 120 of them for 30 days. So he cut me all the way down. And then when it was time for me to deliver my baby, he sent me to one of his white doctor friends. And they didn't take my baby. My baby, by the grace of God, my baby did not come out with no high pitch scream, no high pitch cry. She wasn't going through withdrawals. It was the grace of God. She's perfect. Like, she get on my damn nerves. She going through that preteen stuff now. But
Official Kia McMichael says, I know quite a few people who do meth. So, well, there's so many questions I want to ask. So, first of all, when you did start doing heroin and you were using with other people, did you stop hanging out with your other friends who did not do drugs?
the disease isolates you, period, from the beginning. You isolate your. That is one indicator that somebody is getting high. They don't come around like they used to no more. When you get high, you isolate. Cause I don't got time for that. I ain't on what you on. I don't want to do what you want to do. I just want to get high. I want to call my dope man. I want to get high, and I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to do what you want to do. I ain't fucking with you like that. So you isolate yourself
And
in the beginning.
when you were with these people getting high, right? Did you guys have other people coming around who were not getting high, or it was just all addicts?
Just the drug dealers.
Just the drug dealers.
Yeah.
And some of them would turn to addicts.
Eventually, drug dealers be in the closet testing their products out.
Yeah. So well, the story that I was going to share earlier was that I did go on a date with a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know at the time that he was addicted to crack.
Mm-hmm. To cocaine or crack?
Crack.
It's a difference, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, all right. So I don't know the full difference, but cocaine they snort.
Yes.
Oh, and crack is like the pure
Baking
version
soda.
of.
No.
Okay.
Cocaine is the pure powdery thing. They still cut that with something too, so they can make more money to stretch it. But when they selling the cocaine, they cut it with something to stretch it. But when they doing it, they keep their own little whatever, and they don't cut it as much. They cut it to stretch it. But cocaine is the powder that you snort up your nose. Crack is what you mix with baking soda, and the form changes to crack rock. To rock.
And that's how it forms that rock.
That's crack.
And you smoke that.
You smoke that. I'm hearing that you can shoot crack up too. I'm hearing that you shoot meth up. All this, I hear that you can shoot all the drugs that I did. They're shooting it up now with a needle in their arms.
Shout out to Rich Boy Tone, who was in here. I don't know if he's still in here, but Alluring Leash says the drug dealers didn't get high. So when a drug dealer started using his own product, right? Mm-hmm. If he ever got hooked to it, would he then now start coming around you guys to get high?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. Because why he gonna let his customers know that he turning into a customer? That I seen that personally myself. I don't know how much that happens. But 9 times out of 10, if somebody is selling heroin, they is testing a product.
So if they're just always hanging out with, you know, the addicts, it's more than likely that they're just an addict. They're no longer a drug dealer.
You can't say that either. Like
No.
it ain't no rhyme or reason. You can't figure it out because it ain't like that. Like you said, the drug dealer that you was dating, you didn't know he was on crack.
Mm-mm.
He ain't gonna go 9 times out of 10. A drug dealer ain't gonna go hang with a whole bunch of addicts anyway, unless he acting like he making some money. Cause he don't want his other drug dealing friends to know. It all be an image with people,
Yeah.
you know.
Dow Bling says, what about this new fentanyl that's taking people out left and right? So fentanyl, you guys, is a very strong drug. It has a very high death rate, right?
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of people are addicted to it now because it's being cut into other drugs, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There, to me, there's no more real pure heroin. It's fentanyl. Fentanyl come from the doctors. I don't know how they getting their hands on it now from China. Like a fentanyl patch, a fentanyl pain shot. You know that comes from
Really?
the doctor.
Get
Fentanyl.
out.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
fentanyl comes from the doctors.
Hmm.
Fentanyl. Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes, that's coming from the doctors, but somebody in China got their hands on it, and somebody over here got to connect. Fentanyl comes from the doctors.
So is it called fentanyl at
Yes,
the
ma'am.
doctor's office? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
wow. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
wow.
Google it. They used to have suckers back in the 60s. I don't remember what they was called, but they used to be a fentanyl sucker for pain. Fentanyl is made for pain. That's what it's made for, pain. It's an opiate made for pain. You get a fentanyl patch. They give it to cancer patients and stuff like that. Some addicts take the patch and put the patch in their mouth and suck all this stuff out of it. But fentanyl come from the doctors.
Wow. So I do want to talk about something that if you don't want to talk about it, you just let me know.
Girl, I'm an open book. It ain't no right or wrong answer. It's my truth.
So we did talk about how you would sell yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time that you did it, was it just like, well, okay, or were you like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this?
No, because I sold coochie before I was. It wasn't nothing out of the normal. Like if a dude act like he want to do it, you got some money? Yeah, I got. Okay, we can hook up. How much you got? Boom, boom, boom. We do it. It's over. Without no drug.
Yes.
Without
And
drugs. Before I
okay,
was on drugs.
no,
When I was a
I'm so
teenager.
happy you mentioned that because you guys, like, a lot more people sell coochie than you think.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get someone to come on one of my shows to talk about it because it's a very popular thing. In fact, a lot of the dating sites now are used to sell coochie. Like a lot of them are not on there to date. There's like certain code words they can use to sell coochie.
I mean, y'all ain't look. Let me see. Okay, you with somebody for 30 days. Y'all end up having sex. He buys you a purse. You sold your coochie.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no real relationship after 30 days. Like, come on. Like, it's not that hard. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
open minded and I'm not
Me too.
judgmental.
Me
Like,
too.
come on, y'all. People acting like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. Hell yeah. And if I ever get in a pinch or in a bind, my mama told me I was walking with some gold between my legs. Thank God I'm who I am now, and I know God will provide. But come on, like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
No, I'm with you. Like, I'm not judgmental, and I also I like for people to realize, like, think about the things that you have been conditioned to believe. You
Right,
know, you gotta
right,
erase that, and you gotta make your own mind up about things.
right. You rather give it away for free? Like, you rather give your stuff
Listen,
away for free?
I've been giving it away for free.
Yeah. And ain't getting nothing but heartache and pain behind that.
Exactly.
Don't you wish you would have charged a couple people now?
Yes.
Okay. Like, come on now. So no,
But
I
I will say, I don't think that me personally, because like my coochie, I don't have sex very often.
wasn't.
I'm one of those people who like my coochie is like attached to my heart. Like I gotta really like be into
Me
you.
too. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be in like full blown addiction, because like I can't just do it to somebody and use them.
Yeah.
I like my feelings. It got to be something about you if I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it to you, because
Me
it got
too.
to be right. Like, I'm not gonna come if my mind ain't there. So it got to be right. Like, I'm not gonna be just wasting some. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. So now you're at the point where you want to recover. I know you said you went to rehab a few times.
I am recovered.
You are
I am
recovered.
recovered. Yes.
So what's the difference between a recovering and a recovered? Is
Just what people saying, like people go to meetings and they're in recovery. They go to meetings, they do the 12 steps, they're in the book, they're recovering. I'm recovered. I'm not going back. I'm not going to no 12 steps. I work my own program. That's God, and I'm living my life.
I love that. All right. So did you? I know you said your children also go to therapy. Was that
Mhm.
something
My
that you
kids went to therapy. They
they
not in
went to
therapy
therapy?
no more. No.
Was that something that you suggested to them,
Yeah.
or yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. My oldest daughter, when her grandmother died, um, she was like, "Mom, I'm sad all the time. I'm sad all the time." We need so many hours, I'm telling you, because like I didn't even get to tell you when I went to jail, I went to rehab. That's how I start getting in recovery. They had a program called medically assisted treatment. So I went to that. I was in there for 4 months. I got out. I went to transitional housing. I stayed there for 90 days. I got a job. I got a house, and I tried to buy my kids love from the 8 months that I was gone. So it was like, it's so much in between. That's why y'all gotta get the book. It's called
Yes.
Heroin Ain't No Honeymoon. You can click
Yes.
the link in my bio.
So this last question, and then hopefully we'll do a part two another time. Dollhouse Bling says, "How did you know it was time to stop?"
Downhouse Bling, you got a lot of good questions. You need to get in my inbox, girl. We need to talk. I'm feeling you over here. Like,
I
hop
love.
in my inbox. I knew it was time. Like I said, it was time to stop a long time ago. Like, you know, it's time to stop way before you stop. You just can't. You don't have the balls to do it. You don't know what steps to take. You're embarrassed. You're ashamed. You don't even want nobody to know that you're doing drugs, the same drugs that you done talked about your neighbor doing. Like, you don't want to come out of the closet. Like, I wanted to stop so many times. Like, this last time is stuck, but I tried. But the withdrawal and the mental shit, like, you can't do it by yourself. Like, it's a disease of the brain. It's a brain disease. It occurs in your brain. Like, you really have to go. You have to do some work. And the only thing that's going to get your dopamine levels all the way back down to normal is something to believe in, like God. And personal development. Like, you have to be working on some skills. You have to replace it with some positive stuff, something to believe in spiritually. Like, that's the only thing. That's the quickest way. That's the quickest way. It's not the only thing, but that's the quickest way to get all your dopamine levels all the way back down to normal.
I'm sorry. Can we ask two more questions?
I don't got nowhere to go. Like, go
Okay.
ahead.
Uniquely, she wants to know what your TikTok is.
My TikTok is I came up with the name Heroin to Heroin. Heroin the drug to heroin the woman. So when I type in heroin, it says guidelines, violations, da, 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 but they haven't changed my name on there. It's still Heroin, Heroin, the number 2, and then Heroine. But you can't search me like that. I don't know why. So at Rena, Rena. Or I was doing a search yesterday and my videos came straight to the top. Black women in addiction. And you'll see my
Yes,
pretty
it
face.
comes up to the hers is one of the, at the top.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you're probably one of the only Black women up there telling your story.
That's why my video is going hard. Like, listen, you wouldn't believe like some of the shit, some of the stories that I'm telling, like I can't believe that I'm getting so many. Me too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Like, oh my God. And it's really some embarrassing stuff that I wouldn't think that nobody else, like,
Went
it
through.
is so. One of my videos got 50,000 views talking about, I don't know which one it is because a lot of them hitting off, but like people, I just can't believe it. Like, I
No,
really,
it's so true. Like, I'm gonna be honest, not until recently I realized, you know what, a lot more people are on drugs than you think, and you don't even know.
yeah.
So, like, do you have any advice as far as like clues? Like, I know you said people isolate themselves in the beginning, but is there anything else to look out for?
Any indicators of somebody getting high or starting to get high or trying things, like your behaviors change, your attitude change, your cleanliness change as far as taking baths, your diet change. Like, just watch your kids because they testing shit now. Over here where I'm at in Ohio, a teenage brought a brownie to school and they said 15 kids overdosed or did something. I'm not really sure, but
Oh,
Google it. It happened in Akron, Ohio. I think at Litchfield Middle School. A kid brought a brownie to school, and I think it might have been laced because they said one kid wasn't breathing at all.
wow.
Yeah.
What?
So, like, y'all's kids, even on my TikTok page, these kids is like, dang, auntie. They call me auntie. Dang, auntie. And this is that, and the other. And they be asking me questions. Like, y'all, these kids is knowing what's going on and they experimenting because they be in my inbox. And I don't deny them. I'm telling them because they want to know.
Um, House Bling said, I have been in corporate America for a long time, and you'd be surprised how many well-established, wealthy, high-class people are using
Getting
drugs
high.
on a regular.
Getting
So
high.
true.
Getting high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers, getting high.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the disease is that's why they say high functioning or functional. But the disease of addiction is progression. It progresses. You're gonna lose something. You gonna fuck up something. You're gonna miss a beat somewhere. Like, you're not gonna be operating on all levels like you was if you wasn't getting high. So yeah, you've been the judge for 30 years or a doctor for 50 years and you still a doctor and you still maintaining money and you still doing this. But you got to know they got money. They can pay for their fuck ups. And we normal people ain't going to know about their fuck up.
Exactly. Hold on, because so Marcy Meadow Mars, she says, do you have a PO box? I want to send you something. She's gonna inbox you.
Inbox me, sweetheart.
Marcy is my friend. She owns a greeting card line, so she's probably gonna send you some stuff from her line.
Go,
Um,
Marcy. Go, Marcy. Hey.
but I think that's so interesting because when I remember being in like motor vehicle court, and the people with more money, I remember this guy, he was there. I don't know, he was rich. He must have had a lot of money. But
Yeah.
this was his 7th DUI, and literally they get out of it so easily
Because you go
because they
to
have the
jail
money.
on your third DUI. You do hard time on your third DUI.
And the judge even said to him, while we're all in court, the judge said, you're lucky you can afford a great attorney.
because the attorneys is playing golf with the judge.
Crazy. I was like, wow.
Let me tell you about my situation. I was in Family Dollar stealing. The worker grabbed me. We get the tussling. I get out of the store. That's how I caught a felony charge. We get out of the store. Fast forward, they come get me. I go to jail. This is why I'm in jail for the 60 days. They come like they done indicted me or whatever that means. I have never been in trouble in my life. I was 33 years old. I have never been in trouble in my life. I have never been to jail. I don't got no warrants. Never been in trouble. This should have been a petty theft. I went to court. I come back crying. That lady told me I'm looking at 2 to 8 years in prison. Prison. But the little white girl that came up behind me, same charge, same thing, same everything. They gave her a drug program.
Yes.
A drug program. Why they didn't give me a drug program?
You know
why?
Because
I was clearly on drugs.
We know why.
So, like, I want to get to a level where I can start talking to some big people about changing some laws and, like, because it's fucked up for us. Like, it ain't right.
It is.
I'm telling you, I got a whole felony on my record. I have never been in trouble in my life. I was supposed to sign myself out of jail that day. I ain't never been in trouble. And I didn't steal nothing. I did not walk out of the store with no products. I did not get out of the store with any merchandise.
So this was the time that you went to prison that you were going to talk about earlier?
Yeah, I didn't go to prison. I went to the county jail, girl. That was prison enough for me. The county jail was enough for me. You hear me? I did 60 days in jail because of that. Because I was stealing, trying to go get high, sell some stuff to the dope boys. That's how low it had got. And
sell some stuff to the dope boys?
Yeah, drawers, t-shirts, socks, anything I could have stuffed in my purse from the Family Dollar. Yeah. So they came and got me from that, took me to jail. I was in jail for 60 days because, like, I didn't have any money. And they made my bond really, really high. They told me that I was looking from anywhere from 2 to 8 years in prison. Prison? A petty theft?
And on top of it being a petty theft, you know, the reason for it is your addiction. And to me, it's just so sad that, like, you know what I mean? In America, they send them to prison. That's not helping in addiction.
And it's a whole mental health issue. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all, I want to say 98% of the people that is on drugs is suffering from some kind of mental illness, and they're self-medicating because they can't deal with the depression. They don't know why they can't get out of the bed in the morning. Like, don't nobody sit down and teach us that their mom died, their son doing this. Nobody teaches us how to grieve. There's no right way or there's no wrong way. Like, we go through traumas every day. You broke up with your man for 15 years. You got to grieve that relationship. Nobody tells us how to do that.
Yeah.
So it's just fucked up. And Black people is really scared to go to the doctors because of the past. I understand a lot of stuff happened in the past. The Tuskegee, the Tuskegee experiment, like all of that. I understand that, but times ain't like it was. And like, if they can keep you out of a book from learning something, you need to grow what you know. You need to get in some books, like normalize therapy. Like, why not talk to a therapist? You telling your friend your business anyway, and she going to tell the bitch that don't like you. Like, the therapist is getting paid not to tell nobody your business, and she gonna give you some tasks to do.
Yeah.
You gonna have a whole breakthrough on her couch instead of crying on your friend's couch about the same thing from last week, and here we go again, and she crying about the same shit you crying. Y'all just trauma bonding like a motherfucker. Like, get a therapist.
Alluring Leash said, what was the felony for assault I'm not sure which felony.
Robbery, honey. Robbery. And I didn't steal. I didn't get out of the store with anything. I didn't have a gun or anything.
And you were convicted?
Convicted. Yeah. Yeah. I have a black court appointed attorney. I didn't have no money. My man was away at that time. Like, I didn't have no access to no money. I was scared. I have never been in jail in my life. Like, I was a whole square. Like, I didn't know what to say. Everybody like,
Listen,
you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have played good. Well, what was I supposed to do? I was trying to get out of there.
that was me too. Honestly, I was a whole square before, and I was a very judgmental person, super judgmental.
Yes.
And I always would judge, like, people who are on drugs. I was like, well, that's what they chose to do. I was very cold-hearted.
Yeah.
Until I finally, met people, and I was like, wow, like hearing their stories, like, first of all, I never grew up. I was so sheltered. I never saw anybody doing drugs. People aren't always raised the way you're raised.
Right.
But also we all go through different things. We all handle things differently. And that's why I'm so big on empathy and empathizing with people.
Right. And that's what I wanted to ask you, like, because I seen you in my inbox. Like, I got to start checking my inbox. Like, how did you come across? I'm first of all, I am so honored to be up here on your platform. Like, this is like my third interview. But, like, how did you come across me anyway?
So I wanted to interview someone who was addicted, because I have my own family members who I'm not going to share who, because they're not
ain't
open.
Nobody's business. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But one of my friends, Lauren Lee, she's actually in the comments. She loves TikTok, so she's always on TikTok, and she found one of your videos and she sent it to me. And I told her I wanted a black person, because she had already sent me a few white people, and I was like, listen, I want a black person because that's who we can relate to. That's
right. Right.
So she sent me your video, and I was like, I'll give it a try. I'll send her a message.
Yeah.
So that was how I found out about you. And I love that you were so open. I mean, even the white pages that she has sent me, nobody was open like you,
Yeah.
And I love that you're so open and transparent, because I feel like we just need a lot more of that.
Yeah. Like, it's been in the closet for years. Meanwhile, people are dying. People are dying. Kids are experimenting because all you saying is say no to drugs.
Yeah.
Say no to drugs. Why? Why say no to drugs? You know what I'm saying? That's just like, don't have sex. Like, your 16-year-old son ain't gonna wake up, or at 12 years old ain't gonna naturally wake up with a hard on, but don't have sex. Tell him what's going on. Explain it to him like it's natural. His dick gonna get hard. Excuse my French, but just don't do drugs. Why not don't do drugs? Like,
so the campaign you're talking about, actually, so I watched a documentary not too long ago called Crack, and it's on Netflix, I believe. And they talked about that. That was like the Bush's campaign, right? Like, say no to
war
drugs.
on drugs. No, his shit was war on drugs, but they really, you gotta do your research about that. His was war on drugs, but it was really to give the black men away from the household, to break the family up, because you get caught with some weed and you can do life in prison.
Which started like late in the 1960s, you guys. There was actually a mandate from the government to break up black households. Yeah. So if you don't know about that, you can actually research it. It was the government wanted to break up black households.
And then, it's a whole domino effect. I get the man away from selling drugs because he's the provider. Now I have the mom. So I'm going to tell her that all she got to do is come down here and fill these papers out. And I'm going to be behind her, but I'm going to be feeding her food stamps. I'm going to be feeding her food stamps. I'm going to give her public housing. I'm going to give her this. I'm going to give her that. Meanwhile, she going to keep telling her baby dad, you ain't shit. You ain't never been here. You ain't never did that. You ain't never. It's just destructive. It's just like, people got to do their research and be personally, like, give black men more empathy or like I'm telling you, this shit was designed for us to fail.
It
Period.
was. It was. It was. And we have a lot more to go. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we've come a little bit, but we have a lot more to go. And you sharing your story is part of what helps us get to where we have to go. So I appreciate you so much for that.
No problem. No problem.
So why don't you tell people where they can find your book at and where they can find she's on TikTok? Let them know that.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. Y'all can go up above and follow me from my Instagram page. My book is called Heroin Ain't No Honeymoon. It's an ebook. It's an instant download. All you have to do is click the link in the bio. It take you right to my link tree. It says buy my book. All you have to do is hit that, and you can get it. It's going right to your email. It's not going to be no delayed, nothing. It's an instant download.
And you from Akron. I love that you're from Akron because when I watch TV, I watch so much about Akron, Ohio.
Where you
And
from?
I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut. We don't get no no media
Wow,
here.
you over in Connecticut? That's crazy.
Hmm. So,
That's what's up.
and a lot of people think it's just it is a lot of rich white people in Connecticut, but it's also, you know, I'm from the hood in Connecticut. So that's another reason why I appreciate you coming on. And
No
hopefully we can do
problem.
a part 2. And hopefully if I get the budget, I want to bring you out here and, you know, do a photo shoot and stuff like that for your next book.
Oh, girl, now you saying something
That would be amazing. So you guys, you know what? We might do a fundraiser so we can get her out here and do a photo shoot for her next book. So look out for that, all right?
now. All
Thank you so
righty.
much for coming on, okay?
No problem. And if anybody got any questions, comments, or concern, please inbox me because people be scared or like they'll inbox me and hey, what's up, baby? What's going on? What you know? And they won't. Don't be scared. Like I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I know anything about any drug that's out there. If I don't know, I'm going to do some research. But you can't do it by yourself. The first step is admitting that your life has become unmanageable. The second step is to take accountability for what you got going on, and you have to take accountability for where your life at today, because it ain't your mama's fault that you getting high today. It ain't your daddy's fault. It ain't the past. Like, you are accountable for where you are today. What you did yesterday is why you are where you at today. And the third step, you got to reach out. Like, people ain't mind readers.
Yes. Shout out to S Diddy Too Pretty. She said, "Thank you for sharing your story with us."
Thank you for listening, sweetheart.
All right, you guys. So shout out to her. You guys check out her book and I'll see you guys next week with another live. All right.
All right.
Have a good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you for having
Bye.
me. Uh-huh.